But you like thickens, right?
What is that?
The lentil soup?
Oh, yeah, I do like it.
Hey guys, Lexi here, and well, I wanted to share with you this week because I got a ton of requests on it, is the Greek lentil soup called thicken. Well anyways, I got my mom's recipe from her old lady Greek cookbook, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. A couple things that's great about this recipe is that it is very cheap to make and it lasts you for a week. No, it lasts us about 3 days with Hunter. But it's very delicious, it's really good for you, super clean and healthy, and you won't break the bank. And I feel like it's super important to share these kind of recipes right now as we are in self-quarantine. So I hope you guys like this recipe as much as we do. Hunter and I literally will make a batch of this. You can just put it in the fridge or the freezer, and then as you want it more and more, really easy to just keep heating up. So Hunter's gonna come and help me chop some of these veggies. I think that's the hardest part, is just chopping the veggies, and that's not really that hard. All right, so what you're gonna need, a pound of lentils. And the trick here is you soak the lentils overnight in water, and it's just easier to digest so you don't get the tooth. So it's easier on your stomach. So these have been soaking overnight and I just drained them. I'm just gonna wash them one more time. Then you're gonna wanna put them into a boil. Then you're gonna need, the old lady Yaya recipe calls for 2 medium onions, but because our onions are so big in the US, I use 1. This one is, I've had this in the fridge for a little bit, so I'm just gonna go ahead and chop it and hope for the best. So I don't want anything to go to waste in my fridge. A couple bruises, but that's all right. So 1 onion, 1 carrot, and 2 stalks of celery chopped. I don't know what 2 stalks of celery is, so I'm gonna put in 10 things of celery, these things. I mean, celery is like nothing, so, you know, I'll just put in 10 of those. 6 sprigs of parsley chopped. I don't have parsley, but I'm sure parsley in it is really delicious. So if you have parsley, 6 sprigs of parsley, 1 garlic clove. Any good Greek recipe isn't good without olive oil, so you're gonna need some olive oil. Tomato paste, and my dad also says to add diced tomatoes to it, so I had one in. He adds a little like extra stuff to his, but I have diced tomatoes I'm gonna add in later. And let's see what else. Oh, a bay leaf, which I will get later. Salt and vinegar, red wine vinegar. So if you have red wine vinegar, which we do, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have my lentils here. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse them and then put them into a boil. All right guys, so I just filled up a pot of water with 2.5 quarts, which is 10 cups. I'm gonna go ahead and get these to a boil while I rinse my lentils. So here are my lentils that have been soaking overnight in water. I just drained them and I'm just gonna rinse them really quickly. Yeah, 1 pound of lentils, I was right. My sous chef has decided to join me.
Hey.
If you can see him, if he fits this frame, and he's chopping the carrot. All right, so I'm rinsing the lentils over here. Hunter's chopping, super easy. Even your husband can do it.
I'm getting better at this cooking thing. I'm getting more confident.
Okay, a pound is a lot of lentils, so now I'm gonna wash this second half. So all I'm gonna do is take these vegetables, saute it in the olive oil, the garlic, olive oil, celery, carrots. I'm gonna take a 1/2 cup of olive oil and put it in the pan to saute. Yayas everywhere are like, oh, these two.
What? I'm confused. Why are they like that?
Because we're probably like butchering.
We're butchering the ancient recipe?
The ancient recipe of Greece.
You know what? I bet you they're happy that we're attempting it. It's better than not attempting it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
How are we gonna get better at it if we don't start? Watching a baby take its first steps and fall and being like, pfft.
1/2 cup of olive oil. Still filling up the olive oil. Slow pour, slow pour. There we go, 1/2 cup of olive oil. I'm gonna wait for Hunter to do the garlic and finish with the vegetables before I add it all in. All right, so I'm chopping the garlic. Hunter's still chopping that. And then we'll probably end up splitting the onion so we can both fry. Whenever I cut garlic, I always think of that movie, Goodfellas, when he's in jail cutting the garlic with a razor. I could never get my garlic that thin.
It's just, that's the way the Italians are with the garlic.
It's just the way the Italians roll.
They've been known to be good in the kitchen.
So if you guys are out there and you need a little bit of a break from cooking, this is really good to just keep in the fridge, and then as especially if you like live with someone and you're like the primary cook chef in the house, which I am. This is really great because then they can just warm it up themselves over the stovetop.
I'm getting there. I'm gonna learn eggs soon. I did lunch today.
You did a great lunch today. He's slowly learning.
I'm getting there. Baby steps.
Yeah.
I'm getting the chopping down. Don't throw me under the bus like that.
I'm not saying you, but we like, the only reason I'm making lentil soup is because I'm getting tired of eating meat too. So this is good for everyone, you know?
Pretty sure that chefs are pretty upset with this chopping method. Don't ever do that. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I just go.
You do that too? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a thing?
I mean, when you're an everyday cook, it's a thing. When you're not trained, it's a thing.
Okay, it's a non-trained thing.
Oh, okay.
You need help?
Yeah, that needs to be chopped.
That? What does?
That.
This?
Onions are my favorite vegetable.
Interesting.
Cool story, bro. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting stuff over in my sauteing pan so we can clear up some space for the rest of these veggies. And I'm gonna put everything on a medium to high heat. Okay, so my vegetables are sauteing. I'm gonna go ahead.
You wanna pour some of these in there so
Yeah, so I can free up some space. All right, while Hunter is doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and take the can of tomato paste and I'm gonna add it to the lentils. I was gonna start opening that without it in the video. Having problems over here. Hunter and I are very tired today because we did a very hard workout.
Yeah, we got crushed today. Well, it was Alexis's turn to choose and she went for it.
I went for it all right.
But I'm glad we did it. It was a nice mix-up that we shall never do again.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this full can of tomato paste to the boiling lentils so that I can start cooking.
Can I also add that even the people that were in the video were like not even doing the whole thing, they were like dead. It was that kind of a workout. Do you agree with my assessment?
Mm-hmm. All right, so the tomato paste is in. I'm gonna rinse this can out because you can't recycle it when it has food in it. All right, how are we looking on these onions?
I'm not crying yet.
Do you feel the sting?
Not too much. I was expecting more.
All right, so you're gonna wanna cook all the veggies till everything is pretty much soft. All right guys, so I wanna show you this veggie medley we have going here. There you go. Lentils are cooking with the tomato paste. We got these going. Go ahead and let that sit there for a little bit and medley it up. Okay, now I'm just gonna add some salt just to the veggies to give it a little flavor. And then of course, my beloved adobo. Now I know every yaya is probably shaking their head. All right, just gonna give that a little stirry stir. And I like to do it till like the carrots are soft. I'm gonna go ahead and add the bay leaf into here. Supposed to add one, but these are kind of broken, so I had at least 2. Okay, this looks really good. All right, so my veggies look pretty good, pretty soft. I'm pretty happy with it. And now I'm gonna add it to the big pot of lentils that I have over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it in. Awesome. And then I'm gonna stir it all in there together. And then I'm gonna add in my can of diced tomatoes to give it that little extra oomph. All right, here's my can of tomato. Just gonna put it straight in there. I'll show you what it looks like. There we go. Okay, then I'm just gonna let it like sit in itself for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and raise the heat to a medium high because we're starting to get hungry. So we're gonna let that kind of like simmer and let the lentils continue to cook. And then you'll start to see it thicken really well, like all of the flavors and all the ingredients start to really melt, get really thick. So I'll see you when it starts to get really thick. Okay, so the soup, don't mind Hunter, he's playing MLB The Show with his nephew. Don't mind my face either. I put on a lot of moisturizer because it's so dry here in Arizona. Anyways, the soup has thickened a lot. Check it out. Hold on, let me stir it for you guys. Oh, the steam. But it's thickened quite a bit, which is nice. And then now I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Put some in my hand like that. I probably put too much. but I'm probably just gonna sprinkle it in since there's a lot here. Stir that in, and it's basically about ready. All right, well, I'll let it simmer for a little bit longer, and then I'll show you guys when I plate it. So I've plated my soup, here it is. And now I'm gonna add in a few dashes of red wine vinegar, maybe like 4. I like red wine vinegar in it. And then I'm gonna add some feta cheese sprinkled on top. And if you get it hot, some of the cheese will kind of melt in it. I love it. All right, and this is what it looked like. That's the lentil soup, I guess. We've got our gaming stuff here. He's playing there. I'm playing on the big screen. And I'm gonna enjoy some of this soup. And when Hunter's ready, he can just go and scoop himself some. He knows the drill with the red wine vinegar and the feta cheese. So that's good. And then I'll just pack it away in a little Tupperware and put it either in the fridge or the freezer. And that's kind of it. That's how you make fajitas, you guys. Greek lentil soup, super cheap, super easy. And it can literally feed an army. And for those of you guys that ask, I'll be sure to write out the recipe for you guys as well and put it down below. And yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and hit that sub button. This is a weird time, a very weird time. So if you guys want more videos from Hunter and I, be sure to hit that sub button, and I'll see you guys in the chat. Bye.